Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rumors of Heresy. It's been a while since I've made a video here, guys. The summer's been absolutely crazy. I played Blood Angels the whole time this summer for like a whole quarter, the exact same Blood Angels list. It was a lot of fun, but I wanted to get back into Salamanders. So let's take a look at the list that I'm taking. In fact, here it is. We're playing Firestorm. I haven't played it in an entire calendar year. I mean, up till this point, and this was late September for this tournament, and I mean, it's pretty similar to the lists that I've taken with Gladius and everything, but Firestorm, obviously we don't have quite the number of tools that Gladius gives. We don't have fallback, shoot, charge. We don't have advance and charge, any of that stuff. I wanted to take the Land Raider Redeemer though, because it seemed like a lot of fun, and I really wanted to take the Forgefather Seekers detachment, in fact, for Vulkan's stuff. I like the detachment in general a lot better than Firestorm, but this was fine. I couldn't take that one because they're not giving the Oath of Moment +1 to wound yet, because it wasn't FAQ'd with when they released them. Games Workshop did not add the list for Forgefather Seekers or any of the new Space Marine detachments to the list of detachments that get +1 to wound from Oath of Moment, and so Forgefather Seekers were not really available. So Firestorm, I mean, I hadn't played it for a long time, but that is the detachment that I started with, and so should be fun. I mean, Vulkan can finally go in an Impulsor, which is awesome. And you know, we have some in Furnace. We have a bunch of flamers. The Vulkan can he can go into an Impulsor now. He also has devastating wounds on his melee weapon, which is really cool. And I don't know. I was looking forward to playing this list. I hadn't played a single practice game at all, and this is a grand tournament, like a GT. It's going to be 5 games. And honestly, I kind of hadn't wanted to go to this tournament. I wanted to go see my friend, who the guy who owns the store now. He and I used to be really good friends way back in the day. And then I stopped playing 40k for 10 years, and we kind of lost touch. And now, you know, it was fun. But like last time we saw each other, we were like 30, and now we're both 40. It's man. So it was cool. I decided to go, but I didn't have a lot of plans. I didn't have a lot of prep. The data slate had just come out and nerfed my Blood Angels list, and I didn't want to take the time or effort to kind of you know, get that list ready. Now I am working on other Blood Angels lists actually, and you know, we'll be doing more battle reports and stuff for all of these, for all of my marine endeavors here. But one way or another, wanted to go in and get some games in. So I'm going to be doing 2 different videos. This will be day 1, and then day 2 will we'll do a separate video for day 2. So here, let's just jump in. I should also mention, folks, this is a pretty small GT. It's like less than 20 players, so it's not a huge one, but there are some very strong players here, as you'll see. Like people who are ranked better than 500 in the world, a couple people. So pretty good stuff. Let's jump into game 1 against Genestealer cults, which is a little bit scary. All right, so haven't played this game or this detachment for 9 months, something like that, and I had no practice games going into this, nothing like that, and my opponent is a very skilled Genestealer cults player. He just destroys people. I beat him at the last GT, actually the last GT that I had won in Wyoming, and with my Blood Angels, and I had been brand new in that game as well, and I kind of got lucky in that match. And this match, I was like, I just don't know. Your Genestealer cults, he is using the Final Days, I think that's what it's called, detachment, which means that his Ridge Runners are incredibly accurate, because at any time any of his Tyranid, so we can take Tyranid allies, and anytime any of his Tyranid allies are within 9 inches of one of my guys, then any of his units get +1 to hit, I think, or something like that. So these guys are hitting on 2+, or maybe it's just they automatically hit on a 2+. I'm a little fuzzy on it, but one way or another, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this game. I have to go first, which sucks. I have all these options, so I'm taking 2 Impulsors, and we have Vulkan in one of them, because Vulkan can finally go with company heroes and go in an Impulsor, which was exciting. So I'm just doing that out of novelty at first, and then I put incursors into the other one because it can scout move up 6 inches, and I thought that was kind of neat too. And the idea, of course, is just to keep him from scoring and just score a lot myself, and keep the Land Raider alive until we can burninate everything. He's got some bikes here. He's got Genestealers. He's got the big Abominant guys. They're big punchy guys with 3 wounds and a 5-up feeling of pain, I believe. And all these Ridge Runners, he's got Death Leaper, I believe. That's Death Leaper. So that's the character lictor. And then one thing that I do later in the tournament is I start deep striking this land speeder, but I didn't do that this time. I am keeping some Infernus and Eradicators in reserve, just strat reserve. And otherwise, everything else is on the board. He's got a couple squads of Raveners with a character that are going to be deep striking. I think that's all that starts with deep strike, though his whole army gets to deep strike. I guess he has some he has some acolytes. I think that's what it's called. Acolytes are back here on the objective, but then he has some others deep striking. This army is not overwhelming until all of his models start coming back. He's also got a couple of the auto bomb guys, the guys who do dev wounds, like D3+3 devastating wounds to everyone. They're just hiding in ruins and stuff. And this is the kill more mission, I believe. So that's kind of good and bad at the same time. Or is it? It's been a little bit. So anyways, just go get the this is another weird thing I was trying. Combi Lieutenant in the middle instead of on the objective back here, and then scouts can go back here. Eventually scouts can go uppy downy in theory, and Vulkan's squad can get onto the objective. I'm fairly awkward about that this whole tournament because I just have no practice games whatsoever, and I can't do take backs for the most part. Like, people were pretty patient with me, frankly, but I didn't really know some of the stuff, like just some of the really basic things that I'm supposed to do. I'm just not doing, but I think I have to get onto here for one of the objectives. Like, I think cleanse or maybe secure. So one of the secondaries, and I even get on to this objective with this transport, and I did manage between the incursor, the impulsor, whatever, and the Land Raider, or the Predator. I did kill a full squad of Genestealers, so that was neat. If he can't kill one of my guys, I'll get a bonus of like 4 points or something. So anyways, he goes, and first thing, he gets his bikes, he moves them up here, and I don't think he quite gets enough mortals to kill the Combi Lieutenant, which is great. Combi Lieutenant kind of just like runs away over here, and the bikes get so close that I was able to overwatch and burninate all of them to death. They don't come back, so that was cool. And then his Genestealers come over here and just kill they're able to charge the Combi Lieutenant. And then I was kind of dumb about it. He got so close here that they charged him. They got a pretty good charge distance, and then they just consolidated into the Land Raider, which is not great. They wouldn't have been able to get to the Land Raider if the Combi Lieutenant wasn't helping them get there, right? So unfortunate there, but otherwise, let's see, I think he also managed to kill the incursors and the impulsor. I think he killed enough stuff that I was like, oh well, I'm glad that it's first turn and he can't even get kill more this turn. Like, he killed all my easy stuff. So anyways, at some point, and I didn't take pictures of every round here, but yeah, you can see the impulsor's gone, and he's got some lictors here. I think some more lictors are gonna deep strike and just mess with me. He's still got, or lictors, raveners. He's still got abominants back here. I think that's what they're called. That like they said, the scary 3-wound infantry. And I don't remember why. I think I needed area denial. I just spend a CP to re-roll their advance, because none of the things I had were getting a fast enough advance roll to get onto there. It was truly spectacularly bad. But the eradicators get on to the objective there to get area denial, and let's see, the incursors, yeah, got eaten by the Death Leaper and everything, and the Infernus, in fact, are able. They come in. I wanted them to kind of just screen for me and threaten the objective, and they rolled a tremendous number of wounds on Death Leaper. I was like, nice, this is cool. Like, he'll probably die now. Like, I did like 15 wounds to the guy. Like, you on average you get somewhere around 17 total hits with the squad. And so I rolled really high for that, and then I just spiked a guy. He's toughness 6, their strength 6, it's Firestorm, and I think I did like 15 total wounds to him. Like, I needed 4 ups, still got him. I was like, oh, awesome. He's just has to take. He has his 4-up invulnerable save, and he only has 7 wounds. Like, he'll probably die, and he ended up only taking 5. He rolled really amazing too, so he didn't quite die, though he did spend a lot of the game battle shop, which was kind of fun, because they don't have the they don't have the thing that gives them really good leadership in Genestealer cults, like normal Tyranid armies get it. Synapse is what it's called. So anyways, you know, the Eradicators are out here too, because they're not going to really do that much damage to anything he's got. But the thing that I do want to do is I need to get some of his big pieces to come out into the middle and, you know, kind of mess with me. And remember, holding objectives isn't super important in this. You just have to make sure your opponent doesn't hold more at the end. So the Eradicators get eaten by Abominants. That's what I want. They have a character there. So we need to start killing them. The Abominants over here are threatening. There's some Gargoyles. Oh, that's right. He has a couple squads of Gargoyles who can land, and then they can shoot, and then they can scoot onto my objective. They're 2 OC each, and he's got Raveners here. The Raveners actually charged Vulkan's squad and just kind of bounced, actually. Like, they don't have enough. Like, I got Armor of Contempt on the Vulkan squad that's on the Vulkan objective, and so the Ravener squad charges, and I used Armor of Contempt, and they only do 1 damage each, and they ended up killing like 2 of my guys. And so in return, Vulkan, who now has devastating wounds, was able to kill like 3 of them. Him plus the champion killed 3 of them. So there's not many left, which was kind of fun. I'm still not holding this objective, even though Vulkan is OC 10 on it. But Vulkan actually did some pretty good work there. Maybe he killed all of. I don't remember exactly what happened to that squad, but they're diminished. And now we've got all these threats. You can see that he's got some Raveners here, and he had to put some Ridge Runners onto the objective because his Death Leaper was battle shocked, which I thought was tremendously hilarious. He also got a couple shots into the Land Raider, did a little bit of damage. He's got some Genestealers that died and then came back. They're just threatening back here. I think they failed their charge. I think the Raveners actually had to get a pretty good spike in their charge roll to get their charge, but they got it. So anyways, I guess that's it. In terms of, so the huge issue here, guys. So it's been, when I played Blood Angels this summer, I only clocked out in 1 game, and my opponent actually did the same. Like, it was just this really weird technical close combat melee thing, and we only got through 4 turns. If you'll notice, my opponent and I forgot to start the clock, and so we finished in turn 3, and they're like, guys, there's less than 20 minutes left. There's just no way we can play 2 full turns in 20 minutes for both of us. We both have so much stuff. So I'm like, okay, let's talk through at least one of these, because the momentum was going in his direction. Like I got my guys out here, killed this squad, and then he was able to use other guys to come in and kill them. But the Bladeguard, he managed to get a couple lucky shots in on the Land Raider. Like Death Leaper got this crazy long charge and charged the Land Raider to kill it. I think that was the final blow. I think it had 2 wounds left, and Death Leaper leapt on it deathly and killed the stupid. What a frustrating thing. It was a really sad way for this guy to go, actually, because he didn't really have that many credible threats, but he still managed to kill it. And you know, I killed Death Leaper back, and it's just back and forth, and I got kill more most of the time, but he was starting to get hold more. He started to have a huge advantage in attrition. Like, I killed a bunch of his stuff, but he killed most of my stuff, and like, ultimately I was like, okay, look, let's talk out the first turn, but there's still too many pieces for it to be 2 turns, right? Like, it's just impossible. And he was like, yeah, okay, because I was ahead in points by a pretty significant margin, but it's not fair to just like make him eat the end, like when he's kind of outplayed me and stuff. And so it ended up being that I beat him by 4, because we can't tuck out 2 full turns. And I really hate when that kind of thing happens. I think he did kind of outplay me here. Like, and probably the clocking out was mostly my issue. Now, I'll say this: none of my other games none of them did I even get close to clocking out. The rest of the tournament, like, I started clicking with this list. I was fairly awkward with it. I think I could protect my Land Raider better. I think I could do a lot better. Like, just play the whole match. In general, way better than I did in this fight. But Will was a good sport. He's a really fun player to play against. I really like him. The Ridge Runners I feel like they get the stamp for MVP for this game. Everything else is good, but like the Ridge Runners, with the combination of some Tyrannid pieces, just make the whole army, skews the math so much differently than I had assumed that it would. It was really cool. It was a good game, good match. Really appreciated Will during the match. Like, he's a fun player to play, like I say. But and then I appreciate, like, we can't just tuck it out for 2 full turns. I think if we had done that, like, I assume he would win. It's just too tough. It's like I still have like a third of my army, maybe a little more than that. And he's probably got over half of his army left. But over the course of 2 turns, like, that's just too much to predict. I don't know. Who knows what could have happened, what kind of crazy things. So anyways, I ended up winning this. Probably shouldn't have. That's 2 that I kind of owe to Will, because I think both of the games I got a little bit lucky. But started off, I just did, like, cool. I honestly didn't know what. I figured I'd have lost my first game against a good, like, he's a really good player. I don't know if I deserve this win, but I'll take it, because I've lost a lot of games that I feel like I don't know, deserve is maybe the wrong word, but a lot of games that I feel like I have lost that I kind of let slip through my fingers. So happy enough to get a win. He's one of the few people, when I got there, I knew were going to be a huge threat to me. So I was glad to get that out of the way on game 1. Though, frankly, I think I would have played a much better game against him in like game 4 or 5. So yeah, whatever, man. It was a good match. Let's move on. Alright, so game 2 was against a guy who, he's playing this Aeldari list with a bunch of constructs, and I've never played anything against something like this. This is crazy. He'd gotten a buy on the first round. He's actually an employee of the store, so he kept running back and forth to help customers and stuff, which I was worried about time initially, but there was no issues at all. So, anyways, he's got like the Wraith Blades, he's got the Wraith Guard, a couple Wraith Lords, and then a Wraith Knight. The Wraith Knight has 2d3 shots at strength 20 that do 2d6 damage each. It's a crazy stat line. He can also walk through buildings. He's got the Avatar, who is -1 damage, so that's pretty rough. He's got more Wraith Guard and Wraith Blades. I think I pointed at them opposite of what they were. He's got some Shadow Seers, he's got Eldrad, some Rangers, and so yeah, we got Tipping Point. Again, I tried the scout move thing with the Incursors. I think I ended up getting first turn here, and of course it's not my favorite thing. I'd always rather go second, almost always. So you can see we've got the scouts. Let's see. So we're trying this. I ended up being real awkward about this. It didn't really work at all the way I was thinking of. The Infernus, I wanted to get them into the Impulsor and have Vulkan and company be able to disembark and get onto the objective. But I mean, you can already see the fail. Like the Infernus Marines should actually have just started behind here, and the Impulsor should have been up a little bit closer to the terrain. So then we get Vulkan out 3 inches. So Vulkan would be like right here on this like deployment stick thing, and then be able to easily walk onto the objective. And then the Infernus Marines can get into here, and the Impulsor can go wherever the heck it wants to go. That's what I was kind of thinking of, but my execution was really poor because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Again, we have the Storm Speeder right here. Eventually I start putting it into reserves, by the way, guys. Deep Striking, which I think is a way better play. So the idea here, of course, is I don't want him to score on any of these at all. We're just going to slap his hand away every time, if possible. And I just don't know what the heck I'm doing again. Firestorm, it's awkward. So he wasn't able to get onto this objective. Well, he had his Rangers there. And so we have the Impulsor go here, and the Incursors who are inside get out so they can shoot the Rangers. The Impulse, like if the Rangers did decide to move over here, reactive move over here, then I'd be able to still shoot it with the Impulsor. And between those 2 squads, I was able to kill the Rangers pretty easily. And I mean that's basically it. There was my objectives didn't involve the center objective at all, and I just didn't. None of his stuff, none of his shooting was that scary. The Wraith Guard all had like really, I mean the Flamers were really scary with the Overwatch and stuff, but otherwise, like I didn't see much reason to get on this objective, considering he could just walk up and then just like burninate the heck out of me. You know, like all of his stuff is so close range. Instead, I did get a good enough roll with Vulkan on his run to still get onto the objective. The idea here, we're just going to score as much as we can, of course, and just kind of force him to be a little bit reactive to what I'm doing. The whole idea of throwing an Impulsor with a squad at an objective has always appealed to me, just because it forces people to kind of stay in the area, so then I can then go do stuff to them if I want. Still, it felt a little weird and cringy to do that. So let's see, the Wraith Blades were able to come up here, charge the impulse, or the charge the Incursors, and the Incursors actually they actually did a little bit of damage back, but well, I mean, obviously they died, and so eventually the Incursors just got back into the transport, because they wasn't able to kill the transport because he only had a couple things that could shoot it, because these guys had to advance. Like, it's a very slow army. They don't have advance and shoot, they don't have advance and charge, except, well, I think none of them have that actually. So anyways, this is a couple turns later, I believe. So yeah, like the Land Raider came up and burninated. He actually spiked really high on his invuln saves and saved a bunch of these guys, which was very unfortunate. But let's see, he's got Wraith Blades here, who's threatening the center objective. He's not quite on there. The Wraith Guard, and then I did manage a couple shots into this Wraith Lord. I don't know if this is like turn 2 or turn 3, but you can see I already got a little bit of damage on him, and he actually healed D3. I think I got 12 damage on him using like a Predator, and it wasn't too much. I think I think at the end of my turn, I was able to get a little damage on him. Like he had moved up to be able to do some stuff. Yeah, the Predator just got some good damage on him. A couple nice las cannon shots, and then oh yeah, the Avatar was right here. He had come to mess with me, and so I was able to, for the most part, yeah, I killed the Avatar dead, and then I still had a couple shots left from the Predator, so killed the Wraith Knight, or Wraith Lord, whatever, yeah, Knight. And so most of my stuff's still alive. Obviously he was able, like, we even have our we even have the Impulsor here alive. You can see we have some Infernus in here, and we're doing okay. He's not scoring at all, except for his home objective, of course. And we're just waiting for him to get off of that home objective so that maybe we can steal it with some Eradicators or something. The Wraith Knight ended up just dying. I was able to shoot it pretty good. You can see Vulkan and company got out to go and kill some Wraith Guard, Wraith Lords, Wraith something. Like, he overwatched early. And killed with them, and almost killed the full squad of Infernus, but that just meant that Vulkan squad could come out and charge the Wraith Guard. And I mean, honestly, this is kind of just a bad mismatch. He's got his Wraith Guard right here, you know, so he's holding this. I think he got Storm Hostile for one of his objectives, but I was able to burnate the other squad of Wraith Blades, the Bladeguard were able to chop up the remains, I think. It just didn't have that many units. And honestly, like, one thing that he said, he was like, wow, your army has so much offense. Like, you can kill things so well. And I think that just ends up being like, I got a lot of comments on that, actually. Like, that no one thought that I could do as much damage as I ended up doing, which I mean, that's always been the awesome thing about Firestorm, is it can put down some serious damage. You just got to find a way to leverage that damage into actual wins. So yeah, that was it for this game. I mean, I think I ended up getting like 100 or a 98 or something against him. Nice guy. Not necessarily the kind of game he was looking for. I think his stuff is just a little too elite. And he even said, like, this wasn't optimized for tournament play. He likes to play narratives and stuff, which is totally fine. I mean, yeah, he did good. He ended up with a 2 and 3 record, I believe. So he won a couple games, which is awesome. Good, so good game. And let's move on to game 3 against Death Guard, which is not something I wanted. All right, game 3 is always the toughest in these big tournaments. It's just tough because you're tired, they're tired, but everyone wants to be undefeated. Especially like game 3 after you've already won 2. Like, both people really want to end the day with an undefeated record, and Death Guard is really something that I've considered it a win every time I'm able to avoid it in a tournament. They're just not fun to play against, in my opinion, since they've been reworked. Their data sheets are just completely off the chain. But they did recently get a big nerf on their points, and so he's got a couple of these fart cart guys. They're good skirmishing units, honestly. He's got 3 of these bloat drones, whatever. They're the guys that are like AP3 for 3 damage with a bunch of shots, D6 plus 2 blast. So he's got a couple of those. One of them is in reserve, and then I've got my usual Erads in reserve, a squad of Infernus in reserves, and then now I think this is the first time I'm deep striking with the with this Land Speeder Hammer Strike as a Storm Speeder Hammer Strike. So Land Raiders here, just trying to avoid him getting to me. And I think, oh yeah, this is the Search and Destroy, so it's table quarters. So you can see the Infernus, or sorry, the Incursors are right here, just trying to just doing some weird stuff. I think this is my Combi Lieutenant, is it? Let's zoom in. Maybe it is. Yeah, Combi Lieutenant went the wrong, like, just a really weird direction. He infiltrated some Poxwalkers. I just wanted to deal with them. Honestly, I think, like, in hindsight, some of the stuff I could have done better. Like, first off, I did have an Impulsor here, and it got shot right away. Do we have, I think this is the first photo still. Yeah, so So I did have an impulsor here with the incursors and scouted up, and I thought I was going to be safe. I didn't think he'd have a line of sight, and he just did, because I'm just dumb. So he was able to get one guy to shoot me, and that's all I needed, just one guy. Easily killed. Like even without I wasn't in his wasn't in the range for him to be able to get the -1 toughness and -1 save. I just rolled really poorly. He rolled really well, and it killed my tank, which was very sad. Of course, I probably should have had Infernus Marines here anyways, but they're here. And my idea here was that I just wanted to keep him from getting any good reserves in. I didn't want him to be able to I just wanted to keep the fight in the middle and from the front, and just keep stopping him from scoring. And then I think I did get second turn for the first time in a very long time. Finally got first turn, or he got first turn. I got second turn. So anyways, he's on his first turn. Of course, he killed that Impulsor, and then he put some fiends on here. Or chaos, sorry, fiends. They're chaos spawn, which they're all like tough 7 because they're Death Guard. They're really tough to kill, but we got to take care of them. They're only OC 1 though, so the idea being we just have the oh, and I think he's got more spawn over here inside of this ruin, just holding this objective. Oh no, it's not more spawn. He's got more of the poxwalkers. That's right. He infiltrated them onto there, which was super crazy of him. How dare he? But you know, the scouts were here to block him from being here. So he's got him here. So the idea, of course, we need to take care. We need to get onto that objective. So the Land Raider, he only rolled a 2 for his advance, but he still managed to get all the way over here. We burninated the Poxwalkers. The Vulkan and his crew were able to get onto this objective, and I think they just stayed in the Impulsor, but were able to just kill all the Poxwalkers. And he's not really in a position to threaten this objective anymore. And then you can see the scouts. I decided I ran them up, and I just wanted them to be kind of like, I didn't want them to get very far up into this place. You can see the Dema Prince is here just kind of threatening, which is kind of scary. That seems to be a pretty standard play. But the idea here was Land Raider is over here, but he can still threaten. Like, you can still move 12 inches up, get the Bladeguard out and charge whatever on here, and also burninate things. So it wasn't going to be too crazy, it seemed like. So anyways, the oh, and I was able to shoot one of the fart carts that was right here. That was the at the moment target. You can see the incursors here. They just got close to the objective, but they didn't do any damage to the Poxwalkers really, and I didn't want to get onto the objective because the Poxwalkers were going to be able to hold it anyways. So the incursors are just hanging out there, just trying to be as annoying as possible, which I'll just say right now they ended up, we're just trying to screen him out. We don't want him to be able to get stuff in. You can see there's kind of a big gap here. I shouldn't have left it, but I did. So he could have gotten some reserves in, and I think actually that's what ends up happening, because he's got those Terminators in reserve, of course. And yeah, that's right. So he lands his Terminators right here. And then he spikes a 9 to charge my Predator, gets it, blows up the Predator, and even though I think only 2 of them could attack it or something, and then marched onto my home objective, which, I mean, he's got 3 guys. I have 2 guys that are on the objective, and so I still held it, but geez, man. What a crazy thing. I didn't, that sequence, you know, and I rolled really poorly. He rolled really well. He didn't even have a leader there. Like, only do a couple damage on his hits, and he still managed to kill that Predator. Just really unlikely chain of events, but it does happen. So let's see. So I'd already killed some of his spawn. He got a couple more spawn on to the objective here, I believe. I think these are different than the previous ones. Let's see. Yeah, I killed the first ones, and then the other ones got on, of course. The scouts are dead, as you might imagine. But he's not really being as aggressive as I've been kind of concerned about. I didn't want his... he didn't really have anything to get his guys. Like, remember how he can still deep strike and then charge within 6 inches with his Terminators, but he has to be in contagion range for that to happen. And he doesn't really have anything that can do that. Like, I'm keeping my guys pretty far back here. Like, I don't think anyone's on there except for Vulkan and company, and so he doesn't really have a way to threaten this objective that much. And meanwhile, I'm over here mostly taking down these poxwalkers. The Combi lieutenant is just kind of being awkward about things, but you know, the game is all over the place because he's got the Terminators here. He's still got more Terminators to come in. He's got the Plague Marines inside the Rhino that could get out and threaten things, but like the middle objective is really not doing that well for him either. And so anyways, I was able to, let's see, the Storm Speeder just landed here for it landed here for some reason. I think I just wanted to be able to threaten both objectives here. And so I get on this objective, kill the spawn, of course. The Land Raider is still just hanging out in the middle, just ready to go. React to things. Vulkan and company are way back again, just staying back because we've killed all the poxwalkers. You can see, oh yeah, I got some Infernus over here, and they just torched those guys, and so I've stopped him from scoring a lot. Oh, that you can see the Combi lieutenant actually charged one of his blight drones, so that the bloat drones, so that he's not able, like, he doesn't have fallback, shoot, charge, or anything. He just doesn't have line of sight to anything either. Which is great. We don't want him to be able to see anything. I'm holding this thing. It's just it's kind of turning into a weird mess for him. He still has Terminators, but one of the 3 Terminators over here, of course, like the Predators, the Predator and the Land Raider combined to kill that thing. I was able to do some damage with these guys. Just 3 Terminators without the character that usually goes with them. Like, that's very manageable for this number of things. Like, we could maybe have even done more, but things were going okay. And so he got his Demon Prince over here, and of course he started killing things, which was too bad. But on the other hand, that meant he was just kind of locked to this area, and I was also able to a couple times get onto this objective and contest it. I think I had some Eradicators who went and did that or something like that. So I was able to keep him from scoring very much here. You can see I have some more Eradicators here that got out from the Land Raider. We killed the spawn. We killed... Oh yeah, he had a squad those Plague Marines, and he didn't really know what to do. So he got them out here. He was going to try to kill my guys, and so I was able to get a really good Overwatch with the Land Raider. Killed about half of them. And then when they charged the Land Raider, or was it the Land Raider? They charged the Bladeguard, something like that. They just didn't have quite enough. The Bladeguard were able to finish him off for the most part. Kill the character who got... Oh, the character didn't stand back up either. And he's not contesting this objective at all. I think it's linchpin. So I'm gonna get second turn. At any rate, all he's got left, like, I've been able to finish off a couple of his drones and just do some damage. He's got 1 bloat drone. He's got some poxwalkers. I think he's got... Did I kill his Rhino too? I don't see it. It's gone. The Demon Prince is just stuck on here. And I think that... Is this the last photo? Yeah, it is. So... Yeah, we're doing pretty good here, I would say. I mean, obviously the situation is looking pretty dire for him, and even though he's able to kill like the Eradicators and do some stuff, like I think I ended up with a 98 or a 100, something like that. One of my games, game 2 and 3, I got a 98 and 100 on one or the other. So pretty good game for my guys. I think that Nick, that was my opponent. He was a good dude. I think he was just a little bit like everyone, just a little bit surprised at how much damage my stuff was able to do, and I was starting by this game to really start understanding how the army works, like just kind of keep everything moving, and you know, only commit certain things. Of course, there's going to be serious issues in the next game with some of that stuff, but I was surprised. Like, I didn't think that going with Firestorm was going to win any games. Well, I figured I'd win a couple, frankly, but I didn't think I was going to go 3-0 on day one, especially with like my Death Guard opponent actually does pretty well. He gets a pretty good results in our local meta, and the Genestealer cult guy also did a very good job. He's a very strong player, so the fact that I was able to get 3 wins and 2 of them against very quality opponents, and the Aeldari was a total non, like, I had no idea. There's an unknown quantity, which is kind of my weak point. Like, given the things that I had to face on day one, I was very surprised to have gone 3-0. Time to get our hopes up, right? That's the enemy to get our hopes up. So hopefully we can, we'll see what happens. There's still one very strong player who's undefeated, who I have to face in the next round, because we're the only undefeateds going into day 2. All right, so day 1 is done, and somehow I am undefeated. And there is just one guy left who is also undefeated, so we're going to have pistols at dawn against Ryan McGuire, who's a very strong player in the meta. He's playing World Leaders, and it's going to be exciting, but that'll be in a second video that'll be released a little bit later, and so stay tuned for that. And thank you all so much for watching, and remember that if you didn't hear it from me, it's probably heresy. Take care, folks.